I've got a set of steps that are rotten and I need to replace, so that's what this video is all about. In this video, I'm gonna show you how to build a set of steps. You're gonna need your trusted skill saw. You're gonna need an electric screwdriver right here. And I recommend some 3-inch deck screws. You wanna make sure that they are exterior screws, not interior screws. You don't want them to rust over time. So these right here. And then you want to, or if you need it, there's other ways to do it, but you've got a speed square. This will work. And then the old trusty safety glasses. You don't want to get anything in your eyes. Oh yeah, you're gonna need a tape measure and some way to mark your lines as well. And then you'll also need some lumber. That's what I've got in the back of my truck. And one of these superheroes don't hurt either. All right, so to do this project, I've got 2 2x6s, I've got 5 2x8s, and I've got 5 2x4s. Please keep in mind, this is gonna be going outside. So whenever you're doing an exterior set of steps, you're gonna want to make sure that you get pressure treated lumber. What does that mean? It means that it is treated to be outside, that it is more rain resistant, weather resistant, and pest resistant as well. You may be wondering, what size steps are these going to be? Good question. These are going to be 36 inches wide, 3 feet, and they are going to be 30 inches tall. Basically what you can do is you can take the concept that I'm going to show you today and you can customize it to fit whatever size of steps that you need. All right, the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the deck boards and the step boards. All right, so I've got my deck boards and my steps cut. You can see them right there, deck boards, and then the steps right there. Now it's time to frame up my deck boards and go ahead and get my side pieces for my steps cut and ready. If you're wondering, these side pieces for the deck, they are 14 inches and 3/4 long. And I recommend not measuring all at once, like going 14 3/4 on the same cut, 14 3/4. You always want to measure after you make your cut because you got to take into account this blade that is on the skill saw. And just a little note regarding what size of lumber goes where. The steps and the platform, those are going to be 2x8s. The side rails for my steps, those are going to be 2x6. And then the 2x4s, that's what's gonna go underneath my platform here. I'll show you a little bit about that here in just a minute. The length of the side rails for my steps, those are gonna be 41 inches long, and then I'm going to do a 45-degree angle cut on them. At least I think right now. That angle may change, and I'll let you know if it does. Now I'm gonna do the 45-degree angle cuts. The big thing is you always just wanna make sure they're going in the correct direction. Right there. I'm gonna do the other one just the same. Next, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to cut the platform back end supports. These are gonna be 28 inches, 28.5 inches to be exact. All right, so now starts to become the fun part a little bit where we get to put this thing together. So I'm gonna go ahead and kind of put together the shell of it. Check this out. Let's get them turned over. All right, I see where I went wrong on this. I cut my 2x6s wrong for these legs. They need to be 41 inches, and that they are. However, I measured 41 inches and then cut a straight board. So when it was straight, I measured 41 inches. What I've got to do is I've got to cut my 45 on my 2x6, and then from here measure 45 inches down, or 41 inches down, sorry, and then cut my 45 that way. All right, she's fixed now. That was the problem. I had just cutting those 2x6s too wrong, if cutting's even a word in that sentence. But you understand what I'm saying. She's now fixed and she's ready to go. Let's go ahead and get these steps on here and keep this project going. So I made another mistake, and let me show you real quick. So if you remember, I cut the platform. I cut these 36 inches, 3 foot, and then I cut all the steps 3 foot as well. Well, guess what? They are not going to fit in between here and here because of the width of these 2x6s here. So I actually got to cut the steps. I've got to cut these 33 inches to make sure that they can fit inside right there. Here's the first step. Whenever you are working with wood, always remember there's going to be a slight bow in it, no matter how perfect the wood is. And you want to make sure whenever it's got a bow like this is called a crown, you want to set the piece of wood on there where the crown is up. You don't want a dip in the wood on your step specifically, because when the crown is up, it makes the step that much stronger. So be sure to put the crown up. And then another question that you may be thinking is, man, how far is this step from this step? Code is right around 7 inches. And so these steps here will be 7 inches from top to top. So let me show you how I'm getting the 7-inch rise right here. I'm measuring with my tape measure from here, and then I'm measuring down 8.5 inches. And then I'm marking with my speed square a straight line right there. That will give me 7 from here to here. Hope that makes sense. All right, now that you know a little bit about crowns and code, I'm gonna go ahead and get the rest of the steps installed and then show you on the video how I did it. So I got the steps installed. It's not the complete project. I still gotta do some more, but let me just kind of walk around and show you what I did specifically. Let me see if I can get in here on the inside. That way you can kind of see on the inside how I did and secured the steps to everything. So I'm in the middle of putting the handrail on, and guess what? Another mistake. So let me tell you what not to do. Whenever I was installing this handrail right here, I put it on the wrong side. The reason it's on the wrong side is because of the way that the door swings and the way that you've got to hold on to the rail. The door actually swings where I'm putting it. It actually swings this way, and so it's going to get in the way of a person actually holding onto the rail. So I've got to take this right here and move it over here to this side. Okay, so I got the handrail on. Let me give you some quick measurements. If you're building a set of steps to the specs that I told you about in this video, this back post right here is 60 inches tall. This handrail that you can see right here is 41.5 inches long. And then this post right here coming up is 38 inches long. Here's what the handrail looks like. I'm gonna kind of go around here so that you can see everything and how I did it right there. Okay, last but not least, the cross bracing on the backside to make sure it doesn't shift left and right. I'm gonna go ahead and install that and then give you all the details for that. All right, as you can see, the back brace is on. That's gonna keep it from going left and right. It is strong, it is stable, and we have a set of steps made. Let me go ahead and switch the camera view around so that you can get a full circle view of the new steps. So you may be wondering, how much did this build cost? This set of steps cost me $96, including tax. It was a little bit more than that because I did buy some extra lumber just for some mess ups and some hiccups like I did have. But all in all, if I didn't have that one mistake, it would have cost me $96 because I'm going to be able to take back two 2x8s right there. And then if I hadn't made that 2x6 mistake, I would have been able to take that one back as well. And so $96 total with screws and everything is what it cost me. Thank you so much for joining this video and this channel here at Urban to Acres. If you want to catch future builds, be sure to like, subscribe, and also comment. If you've got some comments on some suggestions you got for these steps, man, let me know. I'd love to hear from you. Other than that, take care, and we'll see you in some future videos.